Hi, Kelly Ryan here. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a registered holistic nutritionist. So, my talk today is going to be about health statistics in Canada and Newfoundland specifically. So, I live in Newfoundland. For anybody who doesn't know where Newfoundland is, it's a fairly small island on the east coast of Canada. And we don't have a huge population. Our population in Newfoundland is just over 528,000. And the population in Canada is about 36 million. So that gives you an idea of how small our little island is. And we're actually fairly widespread as well. So earlier today, I was wondering what the rates of health conditions are in Newfoundland and how it compares to Canada. I see so many people with health issues, and so I figured I'd do a little bit of digging. I'm one of those people who deals better with numbers and cold hard facts, so I figured I would pick 10 health issues and try and see how they compare. So, let's start with people. If you're overweight or obese, 66% of the Newfoundland population, so that's almost 350,000 people, are either overweight or obese, and that's compared to 52% in Canada. But now that's still a staggering almost 19 million. So that's a lot of people. Of those, 27% of Newfoundlanders are obese, so not just overweight, but obese. So I mean that's 141, almost 142,000 people. And 18% of the Canadian population. So I mean that's a pretty big difference. 18% is obese. Again, that's 6.6 million people. I looked at arthritis. 22% of the Newfoundland population and 16% of the Canadian population have arthritis. So that's 118 Newfoundlanders currently living with and uncomfortable with different forms of arthritis. And with Canada, that's 5.8 million Canadians are dealing with some form of arthritis. As for diabetes, that's luckily a smaller number. It's 9% and in Newfoundland and 6% in Canada. Again, in Newfoundland, that's 49.6 thousand, and in Canada, that's 2.3, almost 2.3 million. For asthma, there are 8% of Newfoundlanders have asthma and 8% of Canadians. So it's about the same as the diabetes percentage. High blood pressure, 23% of Newfoundlanders, so 119,000 Newfoundlanders, and 18% of Canadians have high blood pressure. How about pain and discomfort that prevents activities? I mean, that's actually a very unfortunate one. Pain and discomfort that prevents activities. So 16% of Newfoundlanders feel that they have pain and discomfort that prevents them from doing activities. And 15% of Canadians. I mean, that's a very close number. But that's heartbreaking. Percentage of people who have COPD is luckily only 4% with each, so that's a lower number, which is good. Number of people who've been hospitalized due to stroke, it's 100, I know the way the stats are done are changing here, but it's 724 Newfoundlanders have been hospitalized due to stroke, and almost 44,000 Canadians have been hospitalized due to stroke, and 2,000 Newfoundlanders at the time of these statistics had cancer, and 145,000 Canadians were dealing with cancer. So, I mean, that's a lot. That's pretty high statistics of people. And I know there's, some crossover there, right? I mean, you might have X number of obese people who may have diabetes or high blood pressure or, whatever. So they're not exclusive numbers. There's definitely crossover. But that's still a very, very high percentage of our population with severe health issues. I mean, we're not talking about the sniffles, right? These are severe chronic health issues. So where am I going with this? Well, did you know that most health issues involve inflammation and digestive issues? So basically, a good way to break this down is anytime you damage your body, you're creating inflammation. Take, for instance, if you cut your finger. A lot of times it gets red and sore, and it'll probably get warm and swollen, right? Well, that's inflammation. And our body does a pretty good job of healing that cut finger. But what happens when you cut it over and over and over, and you just keep cutting it in the same place? Well, your body can't really then keep up. I mean, it's not like it heals it immediately. It takes time to heal it. It has to send blood to it. It has a whole process, and so your body then can't keep up with the constant injury, So let's think about this now on a larger scale, right? If you're constantly injuring your body due to toxins or poor eating, processed food, junk foods, well, that's when you're starting to see actual health problems, So what kind of health problems could you see? I mean, an obvious one is arthritis that has inflammation written all over it, right? And there's different types of arthritis. There's rheumatoid, osteo, psoriatic, lupus is, I think is a type of arthritis. There's another one, ankylosporadic, that's another one. So there's a number of different types of arthritis alone. But you'd be surprised to know that there's other health issues that can be affected by inflammation, such as asthma, Crohn's, psoriasis, eczema, allergies, believe it or not, multiple sclerosis, and it can possibly even be linked to Alzheimer's, dementia, and many other health issues. So to make matters worse, if your digestive system isn't working properly, then the nutrients that you need to support your body to help you fight what you need and for all your systems to be working, well, if your digestive system isn't working properly, then you may not be absorbing those nutrients that you desperately need. Many health issues actually are preventable and can be helped by the right health and lifestyle plan. So I'd love to know, does any of this resonate with you? Or have you managed to change your health for the better? If you have, I would love to know what you did. If this is you, I would love to hear from you. If you know somebody who could use this information, I would also love it if you would share it with them so that hopefully they can start learning about their health as well. That's it for me today. Stay healthy.